How to spot an emotional, unavailable man. You've probably been there. You've dated someone, you are dating someone, and everything seems to be fine on the surface. But when it comes to emotional connection, it's like crickets, silence, confusion, frustration. And this can really leave you feeling like you are the problem. So let me give you the spoiler alert straight away. You are not the problem here. He is. So today I want to break down 5 very clear signs that he's emotionally not available. So you can spot those red flags, those signs very early and save yourself a lot of time and a lot of headache. So let's get into this. The first one, he's consistently very distant and cold. Now this one is a pretty obvious one because someone who's emotionally unavailable, they might be physically present, you're hanging out, you're spending time together, but emotionally, it seems like you guys are miles away from each other. You can feel it in the way he is avoiding eye contact during serious moments, or his responses are very short and disconnected when you share something personal and intimate and vulnerable. Maybe you're craving warmth and affection, or even just like basic engagement, but all you get is this coldness and this indifference. If he's emotionally distant, it's because he's not willing, or maybe he's not capable to engage on this deeper level with you. And trust me, that has absolutely nothing to do with you. And there's also absolutely nothing that you can do in order to fix it for him. He needs to do this himself. He avoids deep conversations, you know? Have you ever tried to have a meaningful conversation with him only for it to go pretty much absolutely nowhere? That's a classic sign that he's emotionally not really available. When you try to talk about your feelings and you ask him about his, or you want to dive deeper into the exchange of vulnerability and emotions and thoughts and feelings, and all you get in return is a very like surface level chit chat, he either changes the subject or he gives you very vague answers or even shuts you down completely. That's such a clear sign, and you should have your radar really on high alert that there's a lack of emotional vulnerability. And he really does everything to steer the conversation away from it as fast as he can. The truth is, a man who is emotionally available wants to have these deep conversations with you. He wants to understand what's going on in your mind, in your heart, in your emotions. But if he's dodging them, that's a clear sign he's not really ready to connect on that level with you. Hi. Did you know there's an ancient formula that can show you exactly what you need to do in order to experience the life and the love of your dreams? I'm going to share a little secret with you because I teach this formula to all of my private clients, and the results that they have achieved just from these insights alone is absolutely incredible. And I call it the love alignment equation. And for a very short time, I'm inviting you to participate in a free 15-minute love alignment call with me or a member of my heart-to-heart team. All you have to do is click the link in the description, and if there's a booking link with available times, then you still have a chance to reserve your spot. So act fast before I decide to close this offer again. So then we have the third point. He doesn't really open up about his feelings. Now, this kind of goes very much hand in hand with avoiding deep conversations, but I think it's still important to bring it up separately, because if he's emotionally unavailable, he'll keep his feelings pretty much locked up tight. You might ask how he's feeling or what's on his mind, and all you get in return is this cryptic one-word answer type response of like, yeah, I'm fine. It's nothing, I'm good. So when he does share, it feels very superficial, like he's giving you just enough to keep you around, but then really not enough to actually allow you to get in. Real emotional connection requires vulnerability. If he's unwilling to open up, then you're always going to feel like you're on the outside looking in rather than being on the inside with him, exploring absolutely everything. The fourth point, he keeps the relationship quite casual. Like, he refuses to define the relationship. Maybe you've been seeing each other for months, but he avoids these conversations about exclusivity, and he's happy to enjoy your presence and your company, and he keeps things casual, as I mentioned, but when you talk about commitment, it kind of like sends him running totally up the hill, right? If he's emotionally unavailable, he's not going to make those long-term plans or put labels on what you guys really have and what it really is that's like right there with the two of you. It's not about you, really. I have to say this again. It is not about you. It's all about his inability to really fully commit. And then we have the fifth point. He avoids intimacy. There's emotional intimacy and there's obviously physical intimacy. And Someone who isn't emotionally available doesn't show up in how he avoids conversations in commitments only, but it's also how he pulls back from intimacy, both emotionally and physically in this regard. Maybe he's quite reluctant to share his feelings, but you also notice he's less affectionate. No hand holding, no spontaneous hugs or kisses, no real physical closeness. Intimacy requires trust and vulnerability, and if he's emotionally unavailable, he'll avoid both. If he's not engaging with you on either level, that's a very clear sign he's not ready, or maybe he's not willing or capable to build that deeper connection. So, yeah, that's it. Those are the 5 signs about emotional unavailability. If you're seeing these behaviors, it's really important to recognize that his emotional unavailability is not about you whatsoever. It's all about him and what he's not ready to face, or what he's not ready to give, or what he's not ready to engage in. And remember, you deserve someone who is fully present, who is emotionally available, and who is ready to meet you where you're at. And the thing is this, if you're dating a man that is completely emotionally unavailable, and your needs, your desires, and your wants in terms of the romantic relationship and the principles and the structure and foundation that you would like to apply in your romantic partnership, they're just not met at all, then yes, it's about his inability of not being emotionally available, but it's also like, how much are you emotionally available for yourself to recognize this is not what I want. My emotions are not being met here. The depth that I want to create in my partnership are clearly not being met here either. So therefore, how available can you be for yourself, for your heart, for your emotions and your feelings, and honor those and respect those? Same with boundaries, if you set these boundaries and they're not being met, it's not just about them not respecting your boundaries, it's also about you not respecting your own boundaries. And it's the same with the availability. If you keep dating a man that is emotionally unavailable, then I would argue that there's also an unavailability that you show for yourself to really honor what's going on inside of you and what is aligned and what's not aligned. So yeah, like I said, these are the 5 signs. Drop in the comments if there are any other signs that you would add to this list to make it like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever, how many of those are going to be. And let's have a conversation about this. And as always, click the subscribe button, like press the bell so like you're getting notified as soon as something else is up. We're posting 4 times a week right now. And let's continue to have that chat and that engagement between all of us to really get to know, okay, what are the things? How can we learn and improve our relationships, our dating dynamics, and the love that we have for ourselves?